So this project, we're going to build a dog kennel that's also a functioning side table. The design that we built here has a couple of doors on it, and we have two solid sides. So one solid side faces the back wall, one faces the sofa. Then the third wall here on the end is a door, and as we orbit around to the front, you can see the main feature is a sliding door. We figured since the kennel would be staying open most of the time that we wanted the door to be out of the way. If it was a swing door, we figured you'd always be stepping around it or bumping into it one way or the other. With the sliding door, you don't have that issue. It's contained within its own footprint. This is the side door. It gives you unrestricted access to the inside of the kennel for cleaning and maintenance, swapping out the pad or the kennel tray that fits into it. Flip over here to the cut list and show you sort of what we're doing here. Everything comes out of two pieces of wood. The first piece is a 8-inch 6-inch by 8-foot board, and all the hardwood comes out of that single piece with a good bit of it left over, and then all of the sheet goods come out of a single half sheet, basically. That's it. So let's get started. With plywood, we generally rip it down first and then cross cut. There's a rip and then cross cut. And we leave it a little long and then go back and cross cut it to the exact dimension that we want. In this case, we left it quite a bit long because we weren't exactly sure how wide the thing was going to be until after we built it. Wanted to make sure that we left ourselves enough material. What's interesting is when you go to the hardwood, we've been cross-cutting that first and then ripping it down, which makes more sense. Makes more sense to us. On the doors, we made the rails and stiles the same. So the stiles are 1 inch and the rails are 2 inches, and that's on all three doors. We put this together with pocket screws. It was really the only joinery method that we had available to us for this build. We've got another option starting soon here, but this was really the one that we needed to use for this particular build. It did have its issues. I think we would have preferred something different, but we really didn't predict that it was going to be a problem. You'll see when we go to route the rabbets in the back of the door for the screen mesh that the router actually digs into the pocket screws. But not sure that's the approved method, but it certainly worked. And the screws did trim down. Here you can see why people buy router tables, but in the end it worked out okay. It's not visible or cosmetic, so we'll have to do. The material that we used is 1/2 inch by 1 inch welded wire mesh, and it didn't work out so that we could leave a solid piece of the wire all the way around the edge with the same rabbet. So the stiles have a 1/4 inch rabbet in them, and the rails have a 1/2 inch rabbet in them. So we did the half-inch rabbet was done on the table saw. We then routed the channel into the box. Assembled the box, put the door in place, and measured the total amount of opening that we had. So the top was 0.669 inches, the bottom was 0.509 inches. That worked out to be 1.178 inches. So that's right at 1 inch and 1/8, which means that the slide that we would build would be 9/16 top and bottom. But that really doesn't leave any room, for it to either work or for expansion over time. We cut the sliders to 1/2 inch. Then once they were glued in, we just took a flush cut trim saw and cut them flush. So we put the hinge for the big door on the outside. It's surface mounted. I think we would have preferred to do that a different way. We would have preferred a rabbet on the back side of the door and to hide all that inside. But our experience with cutting rabbets through the pocket hole screws led us to a different design decision. Still learning how to use this particular tool. One of the things I've found is that a very light touch seems to work better, and also moving the saw around a little bit stops it from digging into the surface of the material. Sand it, stain it. This is the same pecan colored stain that we used on the previous piece, since it's going to go in the same room with the previous piece. And that's it. That's the finished piece. Thanks for watching.